In this video, we're going to be going over everything that you need to know to get started within Disposition Pro. By the end of this video, you'll have everything set up for your company so that everybody on your team can utilize this software to its fullest potential. So what I've done is I went ahead and created a brand new account here, and you can see that this banner up here is letting you know your 2-week expiration date. Now, the first person to create your company Disposition Pro account is by default the account owner, and only your account owner is going to be able to upgrade your plan to a paid plan and add more units. As a trial account, you only have access to 5 units, and so you'll see right now I have 0 assets. However, it will only let me add 5 units. So let's go ahead and start adding some portfolios, properties, and units to our page. Now, Disposition Pro does have a bulk import option for your assets. However, since we're still only on a trial account with 5 units, I'm not going to go through that, but we do have another video that we will link down below that goes more in depth on how you can bulk import in your units if you choose to go that route. Since we are only on the trial again, I'm just going to go ahead and quickly add a few things for demonstration. So, I'm going to go ahead and add Smith portfolio here. Very quick, easy, simple. You have a new button. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add a property. We only have the Smith portfolio. We don't have any zones currently. However, let's go ahead and add a zone. I'm going to go ahead and have a west zone for the Smith portfolio, and for the property, I'm going to call it 25 Euclid. These are all just random names. However, you will see that once I hit this submit button, that it will go ahead and bring you back to 25 Euclid in the Smith portfolio, and now is when you can go ahead and assign some units for this property. So I'm going to go ahead and just add a couple units very quickly. Now you see your unit 1. I'm going to go ahead and add another unit. I'm going to call it unit 2. And now you can see we have one portfolio, we have one property in that portfolio, and then we have 2 units inside that property. Now, another way that you can quickly navigate is you can just start from your portfolios, and then if you click into this portfolio, now you can quickly add more properties that would be inside of this portfolio. Same thing too, if I click into this property, and we've designed this to look very similar to like a Google Sheets. So now you can see your portfolio in your property and your units, and then you can quickly add, let's say, unit 3 to this property in this portfolio. And so using your Assets tab, you'll really be able to quickly manage, add, edit, delete all of your assets across the board regardless of the portfolio and the property. The next thing that we're going to want to do inside Disposition Pro, now that we have added some assets, is we're going to want to go into our company settings. In the company settings is where you're going to be able to edit data that will be utilized in every disposition letter that you create in the future. And so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and bring my logo in. So let me go ahead and grab that, and I'm going to put it there. And then the company name, which appears here, you can edit there. Now you have a letter introduction, a letter closing, a color theme, and then a logo sizing option. Now this logo sizing option is going to edit your logo in every single lease letter, which I will show you later. Also, your color theme. What we've done with Disposition Pro is design this tool so that it feels like it's your own company software. So if, for example, my company's color was like a dark red, you can go ahead and set that, and when you hit update, now you're going to notice the disposition logos in there, and all of my settings throughout the software are going to be red. And when you go into a lease letter, all of that data is going to be red. Now, we're going to go back into our company settings here, and we're going to go ahead and set an introduction and a closing. And again, I just want to remind you guys that in your company settings, I recommend that you get this stuff set up right in the beginning, because this is all the data that's going to be automatically generated for each of your letters. And we also have these question mark help tips that can emphasize that further if you are still confused on what these things do. The other note that I want to make is that inside of these letters, you are able to edit this stuff. So this will be your default introduction and closing for your letters. However, if you have a unique letter in which you wanted to change the introduction or the closing, you will be able to edit this data for a specific letter. However, we do want to set some default options that will automatically be getting brought into every letter. And so just for the sake of this video and for the sake of time, I'm just going to do, this is our introduction, will be brought into every letter. And then for your closing, this is our closing, will be brought into every letter. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit update. And now what I will do is I will go over to my assets, and I'm going to go ahead and go into a unit, and I'm going to go ahead and add a lease so that you guys can see very easily and very quickly how we're able to take that company data and see that it is the default data inside the letter. And so you can see for every new lease you create, it's going to have this introduction, it's going to have this closing, it's going to have that logo. You can see how everything, all your column colors are red, all your buttons are red. Again, you can change that color to whatever color makes sense to you. But by clicking on this pencil, you will be able to go into the introduction and change it just for this letter. So this letter has a special message, period. And when I hit update, now you can see that that is the special introduction just for this letter. However, if you go back into your company settings, you will see that that was not brought into your company settings. And so your company settings is something you always want to set up initially as your default options. However, we understand that, we needed to design this tool to have flexibility, as there's always nuances and nuanced communication in situations that you guys are going to have to be able to account for. And so we went ahead and made it so that just because these are your default values doesn't mean that you are not able to edit them yourself. Same thing with the logo sizing. Let's say that you wanted this logo to actually be a little bit smaller. So we're going to go ahead and make it 40 by 40 because you think that that logo is a little large. You can go ahead and resize it for that letter. And if you actually like this sizing, you can go back into your company settings and you can change that so that all of your future disposition letters have the new smaller sizing. Now that we've added some assets into our brand new Disposition Pro account, and we've edited our company settings so that we have the default data that we want to be generated for every disposition letter we create, the next thing that we need to do is go in to our editing page and make sure that the damage list that we are going to be inputting damages off of has the numbers that we want. Now, for a more in-depth explanation of your editing tab, we will link a video down below which quickly goes over this more in depth. However, for the sake of this video, I still wanted to put this in here as this is an important setup for your Disposition Pro account. Now, your damage list is your key that you are going to be using when inputting damages for a particular lease. And we've went ahead and automatically added a bunch of preset common options that we've noticed, but we did make all of these options extremely editable so that you are able to change anything that you want. So you can see here that I have this blinds are damaged, needs replaced, and this is under your broken condition and your blinds item. So when you're inside of a lease, you will first select a broken, and then it will pull you the list of all the items that can be broken, which would be all these items here. And then when you would click blinds, it would give you your list of descriptions and costs associated with broken blinds. So these are blinds are damaged, needs replaced. Now, what if I don't charge $50 for blinds that are damaged, needs replaced. What if my cost is $60? I want to be charging my tenants $60 for blinds that are damaged and need replaced. You can quickly do that here, and now whenever you would input this damaged blind need replaced into a disposition letter, it's now going to have this new estimated cost of $60. And so when you are setting up your Disposition Pro account, it is important that you go through this damage list and ensure that these prices are the prices that you are going to want to be charging your tenants. Now, I do want to add in again that just because you are editing those values for your key doesn't mean that you can't go in and change those values in the future. And so what I mean by that is, what I'm going to go ahead and do is the broken blinds are damaged, need replaced, cost is this $60. However, let's say for this unit it had more expensive fancy blinds that are actually $100. You can go ahead and submit that, and you're going to see that in your damage, and it's going to have that new cost. And then again, you can go in and edit this down even further if you'd like. So let's say blinds are damaged, need replaced, fancy blinds that we have to special order, period. Then you can update that. So again, your editing tab is simply just your key that you use to make that initial input into your letter. However, you are able to hyper-personalize that description and that cost for every disposition letter. We understand the nuances in this industry, and so we have done our best to design the software to be very flexible so that you can account for all those nuanced situations. And when you go back to your editing tab, not only do you want to edit your damage list, but you also want to go through these other data points over here and ensure that you have all of your zones, all of your locations, conditions, and items that you want to have. Now I want to remind you, I just created this account, so these are all of the default options that we bring in for you. However, we don't bring in any default zones because that is a quick, simple input for you guys to make that you will be able to quickly add in yourself. And everybody refers to zones in a different way, so we wanted to let you guys go ahead and do that for yourselves. The last thing that I wanted to add in this section of the editing tab is the fact that we do have a bulk import option for your damaged list. So we've done a good job, we've done our best at adding in all the different scenarios of damages. However, if you guys have your own damage list with your own prices that you would want to bring in, we do have this bulk import option here that you can do that. And now I'm going to go ahead and link another video here that goes a little bit more in depth in how that process works, so that if you're curious and want to see exactly how you can bulk import in your own damage list, please go watch this other video. So now that we've added in some assets, we've went into the disposition letter, we've went in and edited our company settings, and we've ensured that our damage list has all of the descriptions and values that we want. The last thing we need to do is go ahead and manage our users, and let's start inviting some team members into this tool so that we can enhance our team collaboration and get everybody involved in the process. And so if you are the account owner or you are an admin, you will be able to see this company settings tab where you're able to edit your company data as well as managing your user permissions. Now I just wanted to remind you that this third tab for your plan is only going to appear for your account owner. So only your account owner is able to edit, upgrade, downgrade your plan, and other than that, your admins will be able to edit your settings and your user permissions. So you go to your user permissions tab under your company settings. You can quickly invite users. You just put their first, last name, email, and then you can assign them a role. We have admins and we have users. And just want to remind you, users can utilize everything in the software The only difference is admins are able to edit this company data, meaning your company settings and your user permissions. We wanted to go ahead and add in a security level here so that only your admins are able to edit that company data, but your users are able to, go into this editing tab and change that data. But we just wanted to add in a little bit of a level of security for users. And then once you invite a user, they will get an email where they can go ahead and activate that account and set their own username and password, and then they will be good to log into Disposition Pro under your company and use and manage your data. That wraps up this getting started video. I just want to summarize everything that we covered. Under your Assets tab is where you can manage all of your company assets data, including bulk importing in your own data if you choose to. Under your Editing tab is where you can edit and manage your company damage list and your company zones. Under your company settings is where you can edit global setting data that will be getting brought into your disposition letter, as well as managing your users, inviting, deactivating. If you click on this pencil, you're able to change users to their role. You're able to deactivate a user if you no longer want that user to be able to log into the service. And you are also, if you are the account owner, this is where you're going to be able to upgrade your account. And so I hope that this video helped give you the confidence you need to get started inside of Disposition Pro. Again, if you guys have any questions ever, we have this Contact Us page where you can reach out to us and we will get back to you as quickly as possible. Thank you.